Hello everyone. Let's see, how's YouTube doing? Are we live there? It says it's excellent, but it's not showing me the stream. I'll give that a moment. There we go. Alright, let's get the ads out of the way on Twitch. And we got more Community League finals tonight. I had a bit of a headache today, so sorry I didn't stream earlier. I want to get more of these done today, but now I'm feeling a bit better. And it's time to start doing these Community League sets. So let me tag everyone. There was a cast channel. Let me see who the players are for this first set, and I'll give them a cast. The Baron League. This is Forcan, Rick, and the Healing Monk. The best of 7 is all these finals will be best of 7s. Let me know how the audio is. Let me make sure that's working for everyone. And I should tag them somewhere. The link didn't process fully. Let me just grab that. And Kai World, this is late. This is 6 p.m. This isn't late. The night is very young. And hello, do all the quests. Danny AoE hi. And British Caboose, good time for a set. I hope so. Get some good late night casting in. Do what I can to get as many sets cast as I can, but this will always depend on how long the sets last. If it's a quick 4-0 sweep versus a competitive best of 7. Could be anywhere from 1 hour to like 4 hours. So I'll have to play it by ear how many days I'm gonna spend casting all these. And I see one of these wrecks already split into games A and B, so we're gonna have some restores. That's how you know it's a proper set of Age of Empires, when we have restores. Hopefully the wrecks work. Purple versus orange, it looks like, in their colors. I love that. Okay, let me make sure I can see all my chats. It's 12. That's an early time, right? That's perfect Age of Empires hour. It's like slam playing Black Force time for me. Alright, anyway, without further ado, let's just get into it. And if you're not around, of course, at least we'll have the VOD for people to watch during the week. That'll all be on the YouTube. So here we go. We shall have the Healing Monk. Our monk will be playing as the Orange Burmese against Forcan Rick, playing as the Purple Portuguese. Orange versus purple, I think we all can see those colors. This is the version of Colo that has not just a wall, but forests and forest bushes? Yeah, bushes and black terrain around the mountain. Maybe it's supposed to be an eruption that has occurred and stopped occurring from that volcano, an inactive or previously active volcano. So like I've been saying, we're going to speed the Dark Ages up during these sets because I have a whole bunch of best of 7s to cast and I need to get through them in a reasonable amount of time. So we will have some sheep outside. I think this set is around 1200 elo. I'm going to guess that because the lower league was 1100 and the league above it was like 1300, so that feels like a nice slot for it. Somewhere around there. Colo, of course, they'll have the merchants to scout, they'll have the Komodo dragons at the front. In Burmese Portuguese, this could be a monk matchup. It could be a Rambai versus organ guns. I'm not actually sure how a Rambai versus organ gun works out in the current meta. I can honestly see that going either way, I'm not really sure. We have seen players dock on the outside to go for the oysters, and looks like that is exactly what Forcan Rick will be doing. And hello, T-Cone98. Had a nice late night YouTube stream. I'd have tried to have gone maybe a tile closer to the oysters because you can be on top of them and drop off right at the dock. I guess it's not that big of a difference. And no dock over here for the Healing Monk. So the Healing Monk is not the oyster fishing monk. And it looks like everyone moving out. Taking the berries is Forcan Rick rather than taking the Komodo dragons. And the barracks going up. We'll have a mill in the middle of the map. Oh, there we go. Now taking both of them. Now taking the Komodo dragons. These are really awkward to take because of all the HP they have. You shoot them and they don't die. Oh my gosh, look at how far away from the mill that one ran. Oh, that's hilarious. They got 200 food, so you'd be going back and forth several times. So, double barracks. Okay, the Burmese with their attack upgrades. And the full SFC, hello, hello, hello. Will be scouted by Forcan Rick, and the barracks will be visible. Barracks? I don't know what the plural is. I should learn that. And it will be men-at-arms versus archers with a ton of vills out here on the berries. So mirrored builds, both players going for the berries, but perhaps the archers can be more punishing than men-at-arms when the men-at-arms are so far away. Well, here's the first vill kill, our first kill of the series. The men-at-arms try to chase the archers away. Their speeds are equal now, but the archers still can shoot from afar, and that's a hefty advantage for them. Unless you're Celts and can actually close the distance, I don't know if the men-at-arms are great here. If they do close the distance, they will be deadly though, with their extra attack. But they need to get on top of the archers. And they're gonna try to do some flanking. Maybe they'll find a villager here. The Komodo dragon corpse might make it hard to quick wall. And if Forcan Rick doesn't run, this could be a dead vill. Men-at-arms didn't have the best surround, but they will have a hill bonus now. And there we go, dead villager. So that's 1-1 on the vills. So far, probably better for the vills taking food in the middle, though. Looks like they're walking back and forth a bit, running a marathon. And armor now on the way for the men-at-arms. That'll give us 1+1. The archers do, however, have fletching. And, well, if the Healing Monk can get the archers to run in between the barracks and then get an ungarrison, that could be nice. Maybe quick wall the archers, ungarrison, and trap them somehow, but that'd be a lot of micro to pull off, and this is going to be another 2 vills going down as one will try to get back. And men-at-arms, even with armor, still can't really micro around this fight well enough to take it. We had men-at-arms in a couple of skirms, that'd be one thing, and maybe make it easier. Double barracks does make it hard to get an extra unit added into your composition. On the other side, the merchant's still running around as vills do houses and then might go for a mining camp. And in the back, we'll have the market, and the range will come up defensively inside the walls as a few more farms get thrown up wherever there's space for them. And hello, Sriza Bolka over on YouTube. Sweezabilka. That looks like a very distinctly not German name, but the IEZ is a composition my brain only knows how to pronounce in German. And Tambao hello. No, I need to ask Killer Pigeon, because I saw he had the YouTube chat on his stream along with his Twitch chat, and I want to combine you guys. YouTube definitely will have a bit of more of a delay, but I want you to be included. So if he'll start to go down. Hello, Fritz Harman, and 92, wie geht's? It's a Polish name, okay, that would explain the Z's. I don't speak Polish, I have parts of my family who speak Polish. My great uncle, he lived to be 101 years old. He spoke Polish. So without some of the... Yeah, I know Polish has a lot of fancy diacritic marks on the letters. And Men-at-Arms is still chasing the archers, but the archers will run and shoot and scoot and kill. Men-at-Arms will be going down. So far, nice game from Forkhand Rick. Up to the castle age. And pretty clean eco with the Portuguese, again getting some wood collected while gathering from the berries. Mir geht's gut und selbst. I had a bit of a headache today, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I just kind of napped it off, and after dinner I felt better, so we're here for cast. I wanted to cast all day, but I just wasn't feeling up to it. So we're gonna do, hopefully, at least 2 sets tonight. And again, if you're around and it's late for you and you want to sleep, it'll be on the YouTube VOD. App is always good, agreed. Social stream Ninja. You know, I have seen a Ninja, like the Twitch streamer IRL before, years ago at TwitchCon. He was like surrounded by security, but his blue hair stuck out above them. Is he still a thing on Twitch? I've no idea about Twitch outside the AoE2 community. Oh, the poor merchant, he's not going to run away, and the Man-at-Arms will get a kill there. But the KD overall is looking pretty bleak for the healing monk. It's 11-3, and he might need some converting monks. Or at least some skirmishers here to keep the crossbows away. But only feudal skirms right now. At least they have their armor upgrade, but no fletching. Fletching just coming in now. So it'll be mighty difficult for them to take a fight against the crossbows when they have this much time before they hit castle. At the very least, the TC and a couple of these trees might make it awkward to micro the crossbows. But they're just going to take their time clearing the gate and making a bigger opening in the walls so they can get in and out more easily. That's the name of a program that merges chat. I know that there are definitely ones out there. I tried using Restream, but that didn't work. It just straight up did not recognize the YouTube chat. Unload to booze. What's Baron League? We have a whole bunch of community leagues. We have a whole bunch of community leagues for Stronghold Frenzy 2, and Baron League is the name of one of the leagues. They're all given names. Baron, Knight, Kaiser. Various medieval sounding words. This is one of the lower level leagues, but I'm starting from the bottom and working my way up in terms of the ELO brackets. We have 7 or 8 leagues, and I hope to cast all of them. These are all best of 7 finals, so this might take a while, but I'm working my way through them. Oh, it's Baron? I thought that said Bacon. Ooh, Bacon League. That would have been nice. That would have been super nice. The Wild Boar League. Yeah, Baron League within the Stronghold Frenzy 2 Community Cup Community Leagues, I guess. The leagues don't play against each other, so it's not really a cup. And feudal skirms dying to Castle Age crossbows, that is a massacre. Feudal skirms do not stand against the mighty Castle Age crossbow. Especially the Burmese, who do not have their second armor upgrade. Even their Castle Age skirms still die to crossbows fairly well without the armor. Our armor, honestly, armor, bodkin, all the upgrades, super important for skirms. And the difference of one armor is absolutely huge. The name of the program is quite good. Okay, Social Stream Ninja. I know, I was joking about the person ninja, but that actually sounds like something to look into. Let me make a note of that. I should probably message Killer Pigeon while I'm thinking of it between the games. Crossbow's moving forward as the mangonels get some shots on everything. And this is looking really good for Forkhandrick. Oh, the mangonels. This is what I enjoy about the Healing Monks gameplay from seeing one single game. They're not gonna be one of those sudden death players who resigns just because their TC is threatened. They're gonna let us see and enjoy the mangonel shots and the slaughters. And well done from Forkhandrick. The double barracks men-at-arm play was countered quite well by the archers, and Forkhandrick never looked behind. Had a great follow-up in the Castle Age with that pressure, and GG. Where do I see the biggest difference between the leagues? What do you mean biggest difference between the leagues? In terms of elo jump or some sort of gameplay strategy? Stylistic difference. You know, that's a really good question, because when we start the leagues down at around 1100 elo, everyone at that elo does stuff differently. There are going to be things they're good at and things they're bad at. The same holds true for the higher leagues, but especially for the lower ones. I think the home map advantage will be huge for players who have or have not practiced strategies for them. No. We never laugh at people. Why don't you say hi? We laugh with people here. No laughing at people. But we'll have to keep an eye out for any type of gameplay differences or anything that really stands out. It's a hard thing to say because sometimes when you look at a pro level, it basically comes down to running the economy extremely efficiently and maintaining unit production. So any strategy you do works because of how efficient it is. If we had seen Doubt or Andy go for double barracks men-at-arms as the Burmese, maybe it works out for them. Not necessarily because it's a different strategy, but because they can have their eco set up more efficiently behind it, and have numbers enough to overwhelm the archer numbers, or have the barracks and men-at-arms in better positions, such that they're taking better fights or not being forced to take early fights against the archers. Now, there are lots of really subtle things in terms of unit positioning that doesn't come out in a straight build order spreadsheet, but matters significantly while playing the game. So this wreck was in parts A and B. We might have a save and restore at some point. What elo range is this? I think it's around 1200. The previous two sets we had casted were the one before and the one after this at approximately 1100 and 1300. So that would put these two players right in between them. So it's always tricky because at this elo level, you can make pretty big improvements, and someone might sign up for a tournament, then spend a lot of time practicing, and by the end of the tournament, they're a much better player. It's always tricky to seed community leagues correctly, and the size of the deltas in preparation experience that applies to your gameplay and how much it improves matter a lot during the tournament too. Or remember to get Elite Skirm before losing the whole army. At that point, though, I think it was pretty lost. If we swap Healing Monk out for Doubt in that situation, sure, Doubt probably wins. But it's... When you're that close, that's not a situation you're coming back from. Well, another subtle thing here, that lumber camp. Move it one tile over, and then you have more room over here for your villas to chop on both sides. Here, especially with the trees having 200 wood each, that gets very inefficient. You're not a delta, you're an epsilon. At least you are an epsilon that is greater than 0. I saw a t-shirt once called the Epsilon Liberation Movement that said, let epsilon less than 0. Okay, lowering the board to the mill. Yeah, why not? It's there, it's closer. First hit on the scout did come virtue of the healing monk, so he'll have a 3 HP advantage. No one going to dock the middle. And having lost the first game, the healing monk picked this map for the second game, and it'll be Georgians versus Bulgarians. Potentially, this will be fortified churches versus creposts. The Epsilon cult? I don't know if that has anything to do with Epsilon and math, though. I'd assume GTA 5 programmers at least know their Epsilon Delta definitions of limits and continuity. So up to feudal, no one's really being aggressive, but that is a forward mining camp into barracks. Is the healing monk gonna go longswords with the Bulgarians? They do get longswords for free. Epsilon Liberation was in GTA 5, really? I never played GTA 5. I think I have it. I think I might have gotten it either for free or for $5 on Steam at one point. Never played it, though. And I saw lots of videos of it. Over 10 years ago? Gosh, it's been a long time now when it came out. Saw GTA 6 was delayed. Well, in the gaming industries these days, delays are seemingly universally a good thing. And even when the delays happen, they're not enough. Imagine if AoE 4 were delayed. And came out as a more complete product where you could change your hotkeys. I still don't think that would have made it a very high quality game, but at least if it were more playable, that would have been nice. In the world of game development these days, I feel as though a 6-month delay is a very short time. Oh, well, the game is over. That is because we're saving and restoring, I guess. No one has really done anything. We'll just have some scouts from Forcan Rick and triple barracks. Well, we're gonna be in store for a triple barracks swordsman play, but we'll have to ask Mr. Worf to fire, as this is a to-be-continued situation. I alt-tabbed and capture age isn't here. There we are. Did I play ARM, we're told? Yes, I did. I have the campaign playthrough on my YouTube if you want to check that out. Honestly, though, if you want to play the campaign, my recommendation is to go play the campaign on the original game on the CDs. Not the extended edition on the CDs, with the original voice acting. I think you can mod the voice acting in on DE, but if you can get the CDs working, that's probably better. Cliffhanger. Well, Forcan Rick is coming out and saying, I assimilated Picard and I know about your triple barracks longsword play. Resistance is feudal #1. Here goes, though. Triple barracks longswords. Is this what the healing monk does every game? From Burmese with double barracks men-at-arms to Bulgarians, triple barracks, longswords. This is amazing. Love the Japan DLC. I haven't tried the Japan DLC. I might have a content creator code for that somewhere. Or I might just have it because I had the premium edition. I don't know what that included these days. But I haven't tried that. I know there's a Japan DLC and a Chinese DLC. So chopping through to the outside is the Healing Monk. Some units are in his base, but at least they're walled out from his lumber camp. On the other side, we'll have Forcan Rick already putting up a TC. But the Healing Monk does have a nice score lead, in part because of the number of men-at-arms, or the number of longswordsmen that he has. To be 7, travel back to 2002 and fuel raw ore on a 480p CRT. That's something about Age of Mythology that I came to appreciate. And I think the graphics on Retold are fairly well done, but the graphics of the original Age of Mythology for a very early 3D game are extremely well done, and the art style aged very well. There are many games, and I think AoE 4 falls guilty of this, that have an art style that looks as though it were a crappy mobile game. Even if it is a high-quality AAA product, it still can fall into that trap of having the wrong art direction and art style. And Age of Mythology, by being its own thing, done early enough to be free of all those influences, aged particularly well and looks very different than most modern games in a way that the graphics still hold up. Oh, BB, hello, BB. AOM graphics are insanely impressive. I remember also Age of Empires 3 looking at the Lake of the Moon. The water was amazing back then. I don't think AoE 3's graphics aged as well as Age of Mythology's, which is weird because AoE 3 came later, but Age of Mythology's graphics were impressive when I went back to play the campaigns as preparation for Retold. Truth times 11, that's the truth laughing right at you. So, taking a fight underneath the town center, not the best location for the Healing Monk's forces. And this is what worries me, if Forcan Rick, as the Georgians, can start building a number of fortified churches throughout this economy, boosting all of the villager collection rates. Then it becomes hard for the Bulgarians to keep pace. Already a Vil lead for Forcan Rick, but a bit of a KD mishap for the Healing Monk. Falling into the trap of fighting under the TC before the pikeman upgrade came in. And triple barracks, longsword, squires, more upgrades on the way. It can be hard to maintain production from 3 barracks. You'll see the American civs go eagles from 3 barracks, but that's because eagle warriors don't cost much food, it's only gold. And they're much cheaper than this army. Such a math nerd. Star as in correcting your typo, but sure, 11. That's the point of the stream, to be math nerds here. I thought Struth was just an Aussie accent. I did some type coercion to convert truth to a 1, and 1 times 11 is just 11 multiplied by the multiplicative identity to return 11. Personally, I couldn't get into the mechanics or really the art style of AoE 4. I did give it the college try. Never got past the campaigns. My impression was that if you wanted... this is my impression on release, and I know it's changed a lot since then, is that it was a playable game if you wanted to play multiplayer. If you wanted to play campaigns, oh my gosh. I'm not going to say they're the worst RTS campaign I've ever seen, because Age of Mythology Tale of the Dragon exists, but it was the worst of RTS campaign design you could think of from a gameplay perspective, where almost every single scenario was boom against the AI, who had infinite unit spam. And then from a narrative perspective, it was one voice actor doing every single line of dialogue, sounding more like a GPS voice than a voice actor. It was not something I recommended. So some knights hoovering around, Healing Monk booming, but I'm still worried about this Georgian economy. And Georgians will have the best economy in the game if they have fortified churches everywhere. And this is a wonderful fortified church that'll cover both golds and the stone and the lumberjacks and a significant number of farmers. Getting maybe one more at the front for defense and a boost. And then another up here, plopping fortified churches all over the place. It'll feel pretty darn good. I don't really mind AoE4 as a multiplayer game. I don't think it's perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But it was a weird criticism when it first came out. As we have, okay, finally the longswords and pikemen taking a good fight. Healing Monk takes a score lead, and maybe now the tables can turn a bit, as I saw a Krepos Foundation, and we might have a 4 Krepos. That'll help out in the fights. Maybe turn things around. Oh, not a Krepos, a castle, a 4 castle. Maybe turn things around and provide some arrow fire now for the Healing Monk, who has all the map control in the middle, and will be taking 2 gold mines, and the remaining gold mine is mostly mined out. Okay. Now we have a game on our hands. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the multiplayer, but it definitely was a playable multiplayer game, and that has probably improved a lot since release. I feel like AoE 3 is a more fun multiplayer experience than AoE 4 because it took risks. AoE 4 doesn't resemble AoE 2 at all, other than it's the same time period and they use the same names for the units. It felt to me as though it were AoE 3 without all of the mechanics, such as the card shipments, that made AoE 3 feel unique, and felt as though it were a bland version of AoE 3. I think that's the most concise version of AoE 4 multiplayer. And again, maybe it's changed since I haven't played it since release. I've heard Joan of Arc is a civ. Well, those were my impressions on release. I have a couple of gameplay videos from a long time ago on my YouTube, but I haven't revisited it since then. AoE 2 is lucky that the Ensemble devs had some idea of how to do campaigns after AoE 1. I'm still waiting for Lord Bassa to finish the Shadows of Calparea. I was due out in 2021, and I know he's done. I'll give him a break because he made Yadviga. Well, that needs to come out soon. And Heavy Plow on the way for the Healing Monk. I'm worried about this Vil difference, and now we have a castle. We have a castle drop on the outside. Oh, that's some of the Vil difference right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dead Vils. I was looking at the castle drop at the front, but there's a castle drop on the outside now. Ooh, and Healing Monk didn't wall up the sides. That's a mistake on this map, not walling up the sides. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs. And Fork and Rick doing exactly what you want to do when you're pushed at the front. Leak out to the sides, and most importantly, keeping an extra gold safe in the back behind a couple layers of walls, or mostly walled. Getting a mule cart there, and that'll keep the eco running despite the push, and this is a really good push. Couple of rams, lots of longswords, lots of pikemen, and Healing Monk has the score lead. I don't know if it's actually the positional lead for the game though, because of how limited the eco will be on the outside. All the stone on this map is on the outside, and you need to collect it if you want to make creposts or castles. Perhaps one castle is all it's needed, though. I have a bit of gold being floated. And the gate's open. Fortified churches need to be garrisoned to shoot, and Fork and Rick may be struggling to keep the Vils working under all this pressure. That was a loss of 10 Vils there, so 22 eco kills. All 8 of those eco kills might have been the idle Vils by that castle. But 23 kills and counting. Longswords, well, need to be careful under the churches and the TC fire. The Rams will break in soon enough. Here's another castle, though, from Fork and Rick on the outside, and this is probably going to be a lot of dead villagers. That gate can't be accessed from the wood on the outside. It's a good thing there is a farm there, because that is blocking the castle. Maybe, oh no, Fork and Rick somehow mixed up farm terrain for the fake farms outside, the real farms versus terrain. But this is going to be a lot of dead vills now for the healing monk. Maybe the pikeman can get over in time. But that's now 26 to 13 KD, and it will be climbing a bit. But the Rams continue breaking through. That TC lost a lot of HP, but I don't think that's enough longswords to do more damage. That's a lot of longswords, though. Healing monk needs to grab everything and make one good push. And so far, so good for repelling this. That could have been a lot worse, but it is still 23 Vil deaths now. AoE4 tried new stuff, but maybe not enough new to draw in people, and was not good enough to draw in the traditional crowd. That's the thing. My impression was AoE4 didn't actually try new stuff. It felt like... I think there are a lot of criticisms of the graphics and of the UI and various things that hold it back overall as a product. Not gameplay related, but direct gameplay. I felt like it, as I said earlier, felt like AoE 3, but playing it safe, where it didn't have any of the unique mechanics that made AoE 3 stand out, such as the card system. There were a lot of special abilities in it, and special abilities are something that I think people don't like, such as the Shramshriders or hero units from AoE 2. And they don't work in AoE 2 from a narrative perspective like they do in Age of Mythology, where sure, you have god powers and hero units because that's the setting. That's not what AoE 2 is about. And when you get to AoE 3, there is a setting where you got the home city shipments that fit the theme of colonizing the new world and having shipments sent to you. But when you get to AoE 4 and you have all of the special abilities that the units had, there was no narrative reason for them other than they just kind of had these powers. It didn't make sense. Yeah, looks like Forkin did figure out the farms now, and there are 3 farms here belonging to the healing monk, but 2 castles for Forkin and Rick. And this is pretty good map control for Forkin and Rick. And I have no idea what these scores are telling us right now. It's at 27 to 41 KD, but the overall Vil numbers are 58 to 40. And a lot of cav archers here for countering longswords and pikemen. I feel like Fork and Rick is probably ahead, but then again, it's 46 military, 25 longswords, 26 pikemen. Where are they all? Oh, they're coming from this. They're coming from behind. Ooh, those Rams don't have all that much HP, but maybe they can take out a castle? If they can take out both these castles, then the healing monk is definitely in a playable game. If this army dies to the castles, then I think it's GG. And Fork and Rick wins. Well, let's see what happens here. Another ram push and army coming from both sides. That's a lot of longswords, but can longswords destroy 2 castles? They're gonna face a lot of arrow fire. At least they do have armor. They do have arson. Okay, this is interesting now. The downside is the damage is being split among both between both castles, rather than facing one or the other. And the castles do defend each other. They're within range of each other, just barely. They do have Bodkin. If there were only Fletching and no Bodkin, then this might work, but I think this push is failing. And that's rough because the military advantage was exactly what the healing monk had. Maybe if there were 2 or 3 more rams, that would have worked. That's not clearing the castles and losing the army is a huge swing. Especially since the UX for AoE 2. Yeah, that's another thing about the UX. If you played... That's one of the things I don't like about Capture Age. The UX is just kind of this generic, bland, gray background. And it doesn't have the same feel that AoE 2 has. And if you look at AoE 2, and then especially at AoE 1, you'll notice that the UI changes per civilization. And different civilizations have different UI elements. Different architecture sets have different UI elements. And AoE 4 was the same generic gold and blue color everywhere throughout the UI. If you play the original AoE 2, you can tell it's from the 90s. But it is also a UI that works. Ooh, these Cav Archers getting under the TC. I think the Krepost goes up, the Longswords will sacrifice themselves against the Cav Archers to ensure that. Or not, as the Cav Archers dive forward. Now, they won't be able to take out the TC. They don't want to die to the TC fire. That's, again, a lot of damage. And now it's 72 Vils to 34, with Forkan Rick ahead. There were a lot of really good things I liked from the Healing Monk here. A couple of mistakes with the army, though. I think the big one was not quite having enough rams in the push to clear these castles. Add in 2 more rams and they go down. And now the question is, how do you deal with Cav Archers? Bulgarians could go Scorpions. They will have fully upgraded Heavy Scorpion with Siege Engineers. That could be an option. Could have been an option to add Scorpions against the Cav Archers. But now I think the eco is a bit too far behind. I had the same thought about the UI when I was watching Anno recently, which is a what's the year? Anno 117? I don't know if it's 117 before Doubt or after Doubt, but it's a Roman Empire building game, city builder thing, kind of like Sim City plus like you fight somehow. 117 in the year of our Lord Doubt. Okay. But I saw the same thing about the UI. It had this navy and gold color scheme. Felt kind of generic and not stylized. So this is cleaned up again. Again, just not enough from the Healing Monk to make that push. And now I think it's only a matter of time for Forkan Rick. But if you're the Healing Monk, I think you want to look at a couple of the fights you took. Maybe not pushing here as effectively as possible. There were a lot of longswords out here attacking this wall when a couple of more rams to get through the gate and get to the TC would have been faster. And then when he looped around back here and went for the castles, didn't have enough rams, maybe should have been focusing one castle at a time rather than splitting damage between both of them. If you look at both castles have around half HP now. Had that been collected into one castle, that'd be one castle down. And then at that point, maybe it's easier to clean the second. That's another tricky thing. When you have a lot of army in different places, how do you gather it together to fight one structure? I see the same thing a lot of the time with docks. Fairly often, you have a bunch of fires and you're worried about demos, so you split them up on docks. But that can backfire if you have 3 docks at 1/3 HP instead of 1 or 2 destroyed docks. Winning Elsie River. I've never played Civ. Maybe I'll have to try it out someday, but I've never played Civ. When you look at the UI design of the original AoE 2, AoE 1, even Age of Mythology, even AoE 3, there's a lot of detail put into the UI, and it helps it stand out. Maybe one day someone will design a new Capture Age without blurred icons and with a more customizable UI or a more interesting default background. And hello, Diego. Found a patch to original AoE 2 giving a Polish translation to it, and I want to make a DE mod that replaces campaign dubbing and taunts with the translations. Oh, okay, wait, we have a development here. We have the Healing Monk is up to Imp. Healing Monk is up to Imp. Forkan Rick is floating a lot of resources. But not clicking up yet. The gold's almost there. Rick needs to use the market, I think, to go up. And as much as it is 88 to 45 vils, maybe trebuchets. Okay, there's Imp, there's Imp. I was gonna say, if Fork and Rick doesn't click, trebuchets from this castle might be able to destroy a castle and TCs and give the Healing Monk the push that they've been lacking. I think this Imperial Age should be enough then for Fork and Rick. These two castles still being up can be double castle treb production. And no defensive trebs nearby, and also the Bulgarians lack bombard cannon. Without cannon, they don't have a great counter to trebs as long as the castles protect them. What is this building? This is the Krepos. This is the Bulgarian mini castle that can train the Konaks. At the beginning, you thought the AoE 4 UI would be a placeholder. At the beginning, I thought the redone campaign voice acting for AoE 2 would be a placeholder. Alas. Okay, a couple more TCs. Healing Monk trying to boom back. 4 TCs, but I think that's maybe a bit too little too late. Has enough stone and wood for a couple more. Yeah, AI placeholders are fine. Just you need to replace the placeholder with an actual thing in the finished product. And you run the risk of thinking, man, the AI is good enough, we'll leave it when you get into crunch time, where you start running out of budget. And I think that happens to studios these days. Okay, Mangonel on a hill gets a couple of hits on the Cav Archers at least. A few good hits from the Mangonels, but the Cav Archers will be taking the hill bonus, and now in a good spot to deal damage as Imp is here. I imagine Bracer soon will be on the way. Another Mangonel shot. Healing Monk still trying to hold on. A couple of days ago, I saw a video. Yes, games really were cooler years ago. All about the fancy UIs. I need to go back and get the skeletons back. I remember I played the original AoE 1, which still runs perfectly fine on Windows 10 as long as you have a CD drive. And the skeletons littering the battlefields, even with a population limit of 50, were amazing. You take Ordenlu painted drawings over the use of AI. The pikeman pushing into the light cav. And two-handed swordsman coming forward, attacking the light cav. But this army for Kenrick is running over, and there's a GG from the Healing Monk. Pretty entertaining game, though. I like the triple barracks longsword strategy. I think a couple refinements to their army control, and that becomes a much stronger push. And on the side of Kenrick, did a great job to move out. Retreat from the push, add in the extra TCs, and find a way to get some sneak clandestine castles in the back of the eco, figure out the farm terrain eventually. And GG. So we don't have everything because of that save and restore, but I think we have everything that matters. So GG. And that shall be 2-0 for Rick. Taking a win on Tulo. It's an Ornlu forgery, not a certified Ornlu original? Mahar. Watch the rest through VOD? Well, good night. Put a like on the YouTube stream. And hello, Miss Lunar Rain on Twitch tonight. Hello, hello. You drew it for Ornlu during the Red Bull outage. I was sitting on the couch watching Ornlu's stream. One day I'll have to play Star Trek Armada on stream. That was a fun RTS. I have it on GOG. Alright, game number 3 on Todai G. Remember, this is Defend the Wonder. If your wonder is destroyed, then you are defeated. And defeated like a 2025 text replacing the word kill. Lumber Camp for Forkan Rick, who will be the Celts using their wood bonus. The Healing Monk will be the Bohemians. Okay. You get late game, and gunpowder sieves can be really good against the Celts. Oddly enough, the biggest fear of a gunpowder sieve is investment into gunpowder when the Celt player makes a quick push into Celt Paladin and catches you off guard if you don't have halbs. But Bohemians will have very good halbs. They deal plus 25% bonus damage to said Celt Paladins. Let's go Toady G. This map, I love this map. I love how pretty it looks. We'll have to figure out something to do. I know Rapture added some flowers and trees atop the rock terrain, but we'll need something to make this less ugly in the future. It is an absolutely beautiful map aside from this silly rock terrain. Monk is a thief in the dark, stealing pigs. Has taken 2 hostage, will not use the meat. What? Okay, these players trash talking a bit. Let's go. That's what I want to see. If someone lames you, you don't let them have it. You gotta psychologically get back at them in the chat. Sometimes that's how you counter the lame, by winning the chat. Wonder can be attacked from outside. Yes, by trebuchets and cannon. You can do whatever you want to cut through with. I mean, Celt siege onagers could cut through, or normal onagers can cut through. We saw that was in Jordan's set. He did a great deal of walling using his Rage Forest skills. And what is this from Forkan Rick? Going forward very early up to the Castle Age, doing a barracks in the back. Thinking of looping around the back maybe, but we'll have a wall from Healing Monk. And an outpost. Healing Monk prepared for this. Oh boy, another double barracks longsword push from Forkan Rick. Forkan Rick. Wait, no. Oh, turning the tables maybe on the Healing Monk, going for double barracks longswords. Maybe the counter to this is a university and double range hand cannoneers. Monk sieves are great if you can grab the 3 relics in the middle on this map. There are outposts everywhere, aside from the path near his own wonder from Forkan Rick. So might be caught off guard over here still. Outposts and Town Watch are pretty good. And here we'll have Arson. Oh. Okay, maybe was thinking of a sneaky siege tower hop to go for the wonder. But there will be a TC that can be garrisoned with Vills to shoot down longswords. And of course this wall in the way. Men-at-Arms will have to break through that before the siege tower can pop out. And it will be a ram for starters. Ooh, I do want to see a siege tower now. Alright, I'll go to normal speed now. Let's go Rams, fletching on the way for the Healing Monk. Do we have a range somewhere? That's just a fletching for the fun of it. We have a castle. We have a castle for the Healing Monk. Rawr. Hello, Baron. How you doing, Baron? Hello, lame monk. Yeah, lame monk, I'm sure you've done some healing in your day. And they will have a barracks for the Healing Monk. Will not be up in time. Bohemians can make Hussite wagons. How good will those be against rams? Not entirely sure. City walls are pretty darn strong. And this gate will have 5,000 hit points. Celt rams will break through, though. Their siege weapons do attack faster, so these are scary rams. Might even be a petard situation from the castle to deal with rams. Mangonel from the side. Mangonel from the side from the healing monk. Needs to attack the rams. The gate goes down. The castle should be protected by the Mangonel now. It has a great move to do the Mangonel, and as you run away, then the castle can shoot the men-at-arms. Mangonel will try to get another shot off before it is destroyed. Doesn't get it, though. Now will be incumbent upon the Hussite wagon to prevent the destruction of the castle. And that castle not being repaired yet. Doing work killing men-at-arms. A couple of spears can come forward now and deal with the ram. I think the healing monk needs to become the repairing monk and send vills to keep the castle alive. Maybe rebuild the wall with some more stone walls. You can't rebuild city walls, but you can add in your own stone walls. And this is going to be another longsword ram push, double workshop rams from Forkhand Rick. That is a lot of rams. That's 5 rams now. No double bit axe. That's extra important as the Celts with your wood bonus. You really want to be swimming in as much wood as possible as the Celts. Here come the men-at-arms. I think these need to become long swords. The long swordsman upgrade and even the armor upgrades could be nice for them. Single-minded avoidance of repairing monks. A single-minded avoidance of replacement walls, maybe. Ooh, well, we have a single-minded focus on rams here. There is the longsword upgrade. Is 5 rams enough? Maybe if that were 8. Even then, if there only were one more mangonel here, I think things would be safe. One mangonel on the inside of the walls should keep this safe. Let's see though, the healing monk pulling ahead slightly in vills, does have 2 TCs, and should have a better economy in the long run. Ecos so far is still pretty even, but the vill numbers will pull ahead with the extra TC. Castle going for the rams. Hussite wagons defending, but Hussite wagons actually dealing quite a bit of damage to the rams. That's quite good. Vills will repair the castle. A couple of knights in the back, they'll help out. Castle will be able to hit long swords. And so far, so good for the defense for the healing monk. Long swords going down. Rams will go down. Castle will stay up. And that was a costly push for Forkhand Rick. Look at that KD. 28-5, another mangonel comes up. I'd love to see a couple more walls, even replace this wall. But so far, so good for the defense. So extra town centers now being added for Forkhand Rick. I think we're gonna enter a booming phase of the game, so let me speed up during a boom then. Hussite wagons might go forward. Would love to see some relic control. Spear will poke a scout. And down here, there's a castle from Forkhand Rick. And maybe still a chance that Forkhand Rick can go up to Imp first and trebuchet the castle. Nico, though, looking a bit better for the healing monk. Although the vill number is dropping a bit compared to the extra TC now. We're going to be hitting some outposts with the knights. Another TC up here on the edge of the map. Being aware of that castle would be really important, if only for recognizing the possibility of trebuchets. As Diego asked on YouTube, yes indeed, you can attack from outside with trebuchets. And that could pose a problem for the healing monk. If Imp comes in and the healing monk is focused on going forward and yet doesn't have their own castle for their own trebs. Castle over here also to shoot through the walls and perhaps allow vills to go in and vill fight the wonder could be a thing if you stay castle age. Yeah, I think that's about as good a position as you can place the castle. Maybe you want Bodkin on it for a bit more range. But go through the city walls. and just straight go for it now. A couple of rams in the push too, and no defense over here, just one monastery. My worry though is a treb push, and all the vills from here went forward, so the healing monk will have to find extra vills to send over just to repair, and once more triple barracks. Healing monk, loving the swordsman lines. There's the castle, but no imp, so no time for trebuchets. No uptiming for Haufnitze. Monk is massacred, and the rams are a-pushin'. Set wagon's taking down the house. And this is also where you need to remember that villagers are good at destroying buildings and can be used themselves to attack the Wonder. We will, however, have a castle foundation placed for Forcanric, as the trebs are starting to be produced in the south. And we all know once the trebs are popping, the Wonder is dropping, and the healing monk has to be prepared to repair. And great KD, but despite the scores, I think actually Forcanric might be able to push faster. There are the repairs already, but no way to pick off the trebuchet, as the walls are constructed to protect it. Can't chop through the forests to use the Hussite wagons either, and maybe everything needs to go forward. Maybe a couple of workshops for rams need to be added in now, as healing monk needs to take out that Wonder as ASAP as possible. And I'm worried about the Wonder. I don't think there are enough vills to repair. The trebuchets out here have the hill, and the Celt trebuchets will of course attack 25% faster now. Ooh, and this Wonder is gonna go down. This Wonder is gonna go down. Not enough repair vills. And there's the GG. Oh, Forcanric calling the GG in the chat before it goes down. And the Rams not able to break in over here. Great defensive castle. A couple of woad raiders saving the stolen herdables from the start. And that's a 3-0 lead. Nicely done. I like that. Celt trebs from the hill in the back. Every game I've seen on this map has mostly been pushes from the front where you're actually downhill. Leave it to the lower Elid leagues to realize you can treb from the high ground. And that paid off tremendously well for Forcanric. GG. The first few pushes failed, but Healing Monk did have to invest quite a bit into defending them. Hussite wagons, castles, identical 1702 castle times. Look at that. And Forcanric is looking pretty dominant so far this set. But hello, UP. Up 3-0, and it is the best of 7. So he will have a chance to win with one more game. And Cheese Hobbit. Hello, hello. And hello, Susie. How you doing? We'll have water real quick, then we'll get game number 4 started. Alright, and here we are, game 4 of Veldchins. Anyone find these maps? Yes, if you search in the mod center for the Stronghold Frenzy map pool, you can find the maps. If you look beneath the stream, I should have a link to the handbook, and you can find a direct link to the mod there. Slept 23 hours? Oh, I love that feeling. I wish I could do that every day. So we'll have Forkandrick in the purple to the west and the Healing Monk in the orange to the east. It'll be Khmer for Forkandrick and Romans for Healing Monk. Velchins, lots of different ways to play this map. And again, another longsword civ for Healing Monk. We see double, triple barracks, men-at-arms to longswords. It is the map to apply that type of pressure when the players are close to each other. Let's see if the scout and the Vil fight each other down here. Loom on the way. Unloomed Vil alert, though. Unloomed Vil alert. And the scout will start getting a few hits. We'll get away before the other scout comes in. And no loom for the Healing Monk, so might not want to go forward right away. My pig. Worried about taking the... Oh no, the big pig getting stolen. Oh, and the wolf line of sight. Wolf line of sight coming in clutch. The Vil was far away from the boar, but the wolf line of sight ensured the boar kept following. Oh, and some Rage Forest tricks. Ooh, but leaving the line of sight. Line of sight of the Gaia player here. Scout will try to take the hill. That Vil wants to lame more. Losing HP, though. Hello, Otter Soup. I enjoy least upper bounds. Ooh, the Vil getting nibbled by the boar. This isn't gonna work, is it? Oh no, Forkandrick not succeeding on the lame. Oh, now the scout has attacked the boar. Now the scout has attacked the boar and is trying to steal it. Can the Healing Monk stop this? Yes, the Healing Monk can, and the Healing Monk now has a scout HP advantage. Pig heist denied, both from the herdable pig and the wild boar pig. Is that strategy the meta or just works for them? You mean the Celts on Toad IG? I have no idea, honestly, what the meta is on that map. We've seen a ton of different styles of push on that. But I really like the Celts with the Trebs on the hill. And the Healing Monk will get that boar back. That did not go well. I had a wild boar burger once, IRL. It was the worst burger I ever had. I would not recommend it. It was at TwitchCon years ago. We went to a restaurant with a bunch of AoE2 people. And they had wild boar burgers on the menu, and I couldn't not order that. But it was horrible. We'll really just need to garrison soon. And oh no, disaster. Both player that boar killed 2 villagers, 1 from each player. How often do you see that? But ultimately the Healing Monk will have the boar and also will have the forward wall off. The real temple is disappointing compared to the map. Oh no. That is hilarious. If BB's still here, she's been to that place as well. The Iron Boar. That was a great bug when they initially made it so that military units didn't remove the food from boars anymore. Killing the Iron Boar left 700 food on it, and you had to wait for it to decay and deplete before the campaign would progress. Alright, now I think we're beyond the fun of the Dark Age. So let's go back into speed up mode. Let's zoom through the ages. So the Healing Monk making sure all the passages are going to be walled up. Walls everywhere. And the Healing Monk will be up first. Up to the Feudal Age. And we'll have double bit axe on the way. Still doing an outpost. There's Forkandrick up to the Feudal Age. Yeah, the minimap walls do look almost symmetrical. Not quite, though. The player lands do shove them around a bit. Oh yeah, there's an overchop. There are tons of options to the Iron Boar hunt. That's what makes that campaign so memorable, all the options. Ooh, the scout's not going to try to kill the 1 HP farm. What do we have here? Is scouts opening, it looks like, from Forcan Rick, going for bloodlines. The outside was open to that overchop, but filled up now. And double stables in the castle age. Looks like Forcan Rick is going to be aggressive as the Khmer. What is the scouting here? Healing Monk has seen one of the stables at least, so knows that some scouts are definitely forward, especially with all the outposts. And we'll be adding in Roman spears. Could this be a Scorpion versus Scorpion matchup? If Forcan Rick goes Scorpions to deal with the spears? Armor on the way, I like that, but you still have to be careful about the knights. I think you really want pikemen before engaging the knights, or at least hold the hill. Trichinosis is mostly eliminating domestic pigs, but wild boars still carry it, so cook thoroughly if you don't want heartworms. Hopefully you can trust the restaurant to have cooked the boar burger thoroughly, even if I did order it medium rare. Forcan Rick will continue taking out the rest of the outposts and go forward with the workshop, so this does feel as though it will be Khmer Scorpions. Squires and forging on the way. Got a bison burger. A bison sounds very different than boar.
Salve, Impera.
Ice is amazing. Boar is just too lean for burgers. You know what is a quality burger? Berber's burger. Or Berber's burgers. He's not in this time zone. Maybe he'll be waking up soon though. Wild hog. I believe this is the same thing as a wild boar. Maybe there's a slight difference in terminology. But here's what I think is a good fight for the pikemen. Or about as good a fight as they can take. They're taking out a lot of knights. A few scorpions in the back are dealing damage, but that was a great fight for the healing monk. Ooh, that was great. And with the second TC now, the healing monk might be starting to pull an eco lead. Boar pasta in Italy is world class. Alright, next time I'm in Italy, I'll have to try that. We did have a meetup in Italy years ago. Nilly took a group picture using a drone and then crashed the drone into the roof of a building. Don't hire Nilly as a pilot. I think the drone tried to return to land at the spot where it took off, and in doing so, did not realize that the roof of the building was in between its current location and its takeoff location. So a few vills going down, the forward vill's unable to hide in the house long enough as the pikemen poke that down. No arson available for the Romans, just pikemen, with their double armor coming in for the castle age too. Fight boars with dogs and a knife in Oklahoma and Texas. That sounds very Texas. As the scorps all go down. Yeah, we did get the photos. Yes, we had the video from the drone. No, we have the video of the drone's perspective crashing into the roof. I have that video saved somewhere. Probably the entire boar in Texas. Ooh, this is probably the time for Healing Monk could consider another TC. But looking at that stone count, it might be time for a forward castle drop. With this map control, the Healing Monk could run a bunch of vills forward and put that castle right on Forkhand Rick's face. Workshop goes down. Now I'd say poke down that outpost to remove the scouting. Then yellow some vills forward. Oh. Healing Monk cannot go game without longswords. Here we have double barracks for more longswords. Infantry at least has been buffed many times over the years. Here's iron casting on the way. The pikemen will go to poke down the outpost. Get back. I think taking the outpost will be good. It won't give vision if the vills come forward. And it's castle time now. Looking at that, it's castle time. On a castle before any defensive mangonels come out. Don't mangonel your own pikemen. Oh, this could be a massacre. A massacre of pikemen. Oh, the Healing Monk. This is so close to a win for the Healing Monk. I can feel it. I can feel it. Where are the vills? Where? Oh, wait, there's a monk. Oh, the Healing Monk might finally live up to their name. Some injured pikemen here. They need some healing. They need some healing. And heal, monk, heal. Yes, yes, it's happening. It's happening. The Healing Monk. Healing the pikemen. That's what we want to see. Even more important than winning is living up to your name. And there we go. The Romans have, most importantly, a discount. Scorpions cost minus 60% gold. And if they do ballistas, they attack faster. The team bonus is minimum range reduced. Okay, the monk gets a conversion on the knight. Knight gets Willowlude and 900 stone. This has to be castle drop at some point, right? I just saw Vills. They finished the stone. One Healing Monk. Okay, Mangonel killing some crossbows. Now, even without the castle, this is a good push, but I want to see that forward castle. Want to see that end the game with the castle. Oh, don't mangonel your own longswords. That's a risk there. If you see Imp, I guess we could see the Legionary upgrade. As a thing the Romans have, Legionaries. And town center for the Healing Monk. And the wolf will want to grab a nibble out of these vills. Nope, and the wolf's just gonna stand there for a moment. There we go. TC takes out the longsword, has some longswords and pikemen still keep pouring in. Now 29 military to 10 and a 20 vil lead and an extra TC. Still waiting for a castle drop, but I think the healing monk has this. Let's see, I think I can maybe speed this up just a bit. There's Imp, and there we go. There's the castle. I'm worried about the Mangonel one-shotting his own castle. Oh, look at the pathing there. As that castle now is starting to go up. There we go. See you later, Diego. Good luck with your assignments. Imp on the way. Imp on the way now. A splash there. GG, my good monk. There's the healing monk on the scoreboard. Healing that scoreboard a bit. 56 to 26 KD. Pig laming, I think all in all went in his favor, even though they did lose a vil one each. Starting the reverse sweep off. We win on Velchins. My sets will do tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling after this one. I'm just gonna play it by feel. Someone two? No idea. I'll head into Ngume. And I'll swap over, and here we have Ngome. I'll have Forkandrick as the purple Lithuanians, and the healing monk as the orange Sicilians. Alright, Sicilians for the extra stone for extra TCs in the Dark Age. Lithuanians will be booming up. I'm sure that both these players are... Oh, wait a minute. The healing monk. No! No! You picked the Sicilians, but you opened with a lumber camp. You need a TC, my friend. You need a TC. Going for the dock at least, but I think we've seen enough of this map to know the TC beats dock. This will be Forkandrick's home map. So Forkandrick definitely has to know about TCs and does immediately going the third TC. Healing monk going for the dock and not for the extra TC. These were played today. These were played Sunday. All the Community League recs I think were played in the past week or so. Oh no, yeah, Otter calling GG already. Well, fast feudal, unless we see maybe an aggressive scouts opening that kills a ton of ills with gaining water control. No dock yet for Forkandrick, but I think the TCs matter more. So, wait, second TC in feudal? Wait, did the healing monk just want to get feudal as fast as possible for eco upgrades and then do TCs? Is that the play? Oh yeah, the farms are not in the right spot on capture raids. These are not T90 farms, these are good farms. Every single time you've watched it, only one player has built a Dark Age TC, really. I guess Forkandrick up to the feudal age, but up by 20 vils already. Now, there's no Wikipedia ladder. This was just a tournament that we hosted. This was Stronghold Frenzy. It has nothing to do with Wikipedia. Wikipedia is just a wiki, and some tournaments are there. It's not really a thing unto its own right. Yeah, TC's on the island. Third TC over here. So feudal age TCs for healing monk trying to wall up. But I think we see that the downside of waiting that long for the TCs. You want your TCs as ASAP as possible. Maybe there's some type of weird play where you do 5 TCs on the island into a forward castle first crusade push, and win both islands, grab 7 relics, and then work your way to the mainland. This is a lot of navy for water control still, and a 30 vil difference, but at least the water control is in the favor of the healing monk. Another TC going up, so third TC on the island. This is at the very least a new playstyle for the map. So a few scouts out for Forcan Rick up to the castle age. And they'll be attacking the fire galley. And we'll have a forward castle. Imagine a demo, one hits that castle. Don't think it's that far forward. And there also aren't any demos, but that would be fun. I have seen demos take out castles before. Here we go for the castle. Now we'll control the docks and then maybe give Forcan Rick an area to push across the water. As Forcan Rick is up to castle, but Healing Monk will be right behind, clicking up now. Still behind in Vils, and also in total TCs until this one's finished. Yeah, these are really crazy maps. Nagomi's been a lot of fun. I think maybe the problem is we've seen Lithuanians on it too much. Ooh, the demo missed the scouts. Ooh, a demo? 2 demos? 3 demos? Blocked by the fire? Okay, okay. 3 demos, they worked. Forcan Rick is having a laugh about that. The demos got some value at least. This is not the Thalassocracy patch where the demos are useless. Oh, we have Forcan Rick up to Imp, while the Healing Monk's just up to Castle. And with that Vil difference, I think things are looking really good for Forcan Rick, who's going to add in some docks of his own. More demos being queued in those docks. No docks everywhere as we're speeding up towards Imp. There's Castle Age, knocked over basket of apples for the Sicilians. And careening from the dock for the armor. There's heavy plow, chain barding armor. I have a workshop here for the healing monk. I wonder if the healing monk will be the transport ship relic grabbing monk. Forcan Rick as the Lithuanians would really like to do that and already has a monastery up over here, but still no docks, no transports. There's a good number of knights coming forward. There's a demo in that dock. Imp versus Castle with a major eco advantage for the Imp player. Yep. And with Cavalier on the way. Lithuanian Cavalier. Well, a forward castle from the Healing Monk. And a donjon for some sergeants. Multiple donjons for several sergeants and double workshops. So we might see a good push on the island. But the mainland, well, that's going to be a lot of pikemen out. But pikemen versus cavaliers. versus Cavaliers. And the advantage for the healing monk, if a small one, will be that the Lithuanian player has not ventured out onto the island for the 7 relics. And the Cavaliers not having access via the Civ to what's the tech? Iron Casting Blast Furnace. There we go. Forging Iron Casting Blast Furnace. Will not be able to kill pikemen that efficiently. And all the Cavaliers cleaned up. Pikeman Deep, how many barracks is that? 6 barracks pikemen. Healing Monk starting out strong with that fight. Yes, the players know what the map looks like. This is the finals of their league, so they have played all of the maps, or at least most of the maps by this point. Whether or not they figured out all of the secrets is another question, but they have had access to the maps for months now and have had tons of games played on them. Either themselves playing or through the various community leagues or the pro league who played, where you can watch and pick up strategies. So pikemen poking down the fires. TC will take out the ram. Kind of secrets. This map you can make multiple TCs starting right from the start of the game in the Dark Age instead of needing to wait until the Castle Age. It's something of a nomad multi-TC start. All the maps in this tournament tend to have some type of weird twist to them. It's always a risk in map scripting that you cook a bit too hard. But here, I think everything's been fairly balanced. And the elite cannon galleons now. Taking out the barracks in the house. As the fires destroy the dock in the south and the sergeants keep running around. I think that was the strat, to go crusade. And the island has been won. And to be fair, the relics have been denied from the Lithuanian player. And with all the units on the island killed, look at that build count, 97 to 91. Yeah, the res collected, sure, that might be almost 20,000 resources different. But the sergeants have cleaned up this island. The healing monk is up to imp. And I don't know if this is a game-winning strategy, but at least the strategy as planned has worked. I think you could have done it, though, with TCs in the Dark Age and more economy. But so far, so good for cleaning the island. Yeah, 3k gold's been sitting there. 1k stone, all the resources in the world are 4K Rick. And now I think 4K Rick just needs to play Navy. And with Navy and water control, can go cannon galleons and destroy the castles. And win the game. What does the Lithuanian Navy look like? No shipwright. Otherwise, fully upgraded galleons. And for the Sicilians, they do get shipwright, but no elite cannon galleon, otherwise full upgrades. So maybe a better navy for the Sicilians, even though it can't hit as far inland. It should be a difference of 1 then. Elite cannon galleon gives you +2 range, siege engineer is only +1, and Sicilians have siege engineers but no elite cannon galleon, whereas Lithuanians have elite but no siege engineers. Siege engineers never used to apply to the cannon galleons, but ever since a recent update, sometime this year, I think. Maybe it was earlier than that, even. Might have been earlier, might have been last year. But a somewhat recent update. Makes siege engineers apply to the cannon galleons. You also can attack ground with the cannon galleons now, too. And that's the trade-off. Oh, you will be lacking wood, but will have 7 relics, and will have housing space. Space to build houses. Something that we lack here in New York City, contributing to the difficulties in maintaining affordability in the area. Housing space. Siege engineers? I don't think that's a secret. I think that's more of a nuance you need to be aware of. Okay, and TC goes down. More sergeants being trained from the donjon. As the Cavaliers encircle it and look for a kill. And goes down, and the barracks going down. And we'll have plate mail armor, and a blast furnace queued for the healing monk. Okay, then, interesting situation. One player with the island, the other with the mainland. Fish here for Forcan Rick. And so far, no play for the relics. I think if somehow the game is won by the healing monk, it has to be by using monks to grab the relics. Almost everything on the island is in range of cannon galleons. If Forcan Rick somehow were to lose the water, this castle would be in range of cannon galleons. Is shipwright, which is in now, enough to win the water? Full fast fires and galleons? Shipwright, it doesn't just make your ships cheaper, but also makes them produce faster. 5k gold here, but not that much wood for Forcan Rick. 2-man saw on the way. Is there a world where these 5+ docks are enough for the healing monk? We have some sergeants landing. Sergeant landings are scary when they start building donjons. And the sergeants never get cleared. And skirms versus sergeants, probably not the best idea. Paladins should fare better. Pretty purple paladins. And the skirms keep taking out the sergeants. Why no hand cannoneers? Lithuanians, they definitely could go hand cannoneers. That's certainly an option against sergeants. Sicilians do not have them, but Lithuanians could do them. Right now, though, as someone said earlier, both castles in range of the coastline. And the elite cannon galleons will take them out and also take out the donjons. And now the healing monk is rather restricted. Reduced to not but a tiny bit of island remaining. Oh, and we got a landing. Landing prepped. Paladin is in. It'll be a skirmisher landing. That army will just about fit on the transports. Dry dock and Gilnut's on the way for the healing monk. It's over 5k score, so we're beyond ACCM territory. Cannon galleons taking out the outposts, taking out the houses and walls and everything. We'll have heavy demo on the way now for the healing monk. Demos come forward. Healing monk selling wood, selling food. Up indeed, looking a bit dire for orange. That's for sure. And, well, here come the fires. A couple of demos there. The demos cannot pathfind. Demos cannot nilly their way forward, but perhaps for the best as the Navy gets cleared without the demos. And here's the landing. Here's the landing. Oh gosh, there go the villagers. I was looking at the Navy, but at the same time there was a landing and the Paladins slaughtered the villagers. Oh, makes me miss skeletons, but now we're down to 41 vills for the healing monk. And this is not walled. University on the way, but things looking quite dire here. The Navy out here is kind of untouchable, though. Doc's all the way in the back for a 4-can. And I guess he needs to hope this landing's enough. He has a Vill with the landing, so that should be enough. 0 on wood, I think, will be a very big problem. This Navy, while formidable, cannot be replaced. And a few sergeants still moving around in the south being annoying. Nothing too bad as the Paladins come forward and will destroy the donjon. That'll be the first target to curtail the sergeant production. Oh, gate goes up. That'll actually be annoying for the skirms, but the gate is opened on the other side. Now the Paladins are in. Ooh, Paladins are in. That is ugly. The gate will go down to skirms after a couple of volleys. Now 35 vills and dropping. I think this landing will be enough. Vill opening the gate, trying to bring the Paladins out. Albs still being produced. More Paladins coming forward, though. The gold has been spent. All the gold has been spent for 4-can Rick. A couple of sergeants down here still. They want to be really annoying, they can do donjons. But we have congrats, my good sir. Well played from the healing monk. Thank you from 4-can Rick. GG. And that'll be it then. The healing monk waiting a bit to resign. There's a fine final with lots of lessons for the old monk. So GG's. 4-1, but still a fun set. I think if the healing monk tries to do a few things differently in that Tulo game with the longsword and ram pushes, and then can clean up a couple of things like not letting 4-can Rick stay in the back with the castle on Toad IG. Maybe either commits more to a boom or to going imp faster. It could definitely be a bit more competitive. That definitely felt more competitive than the score might show. GG. And even that set, that took an hour and 41 minutes. I'm exhausted from that. Congrats, Rick. At best of 7 takes a lot out of you casting it. Oof. Let me see. That might actually be it for me tonight. Might try to get to bed and just cast more tomorrow. Oh, and hello, Palmat. Oh, hello, Palmat. Yeah, I think I'll probably call it here. I'm exhausted. I've had a headache all day, and I don't want to push myself too much. So thank you all for watching. The VOD will be on YouTube, of course. The problem is, though, I'm trying to fast forward through the recs so they don't take as much time, and that is very hard to do with co-casters and stay in sync. So we'll send someone to raid, we'll end on Twitch, and we will raid Donut. We'll raid Donut. So thank you for streaming. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone, for the follows and the subs and everything. The subs do help keep the ads off and help me run the YouTube stream without ads. So we'll end on YouTube, and then we'll raid Donut on Twitch, and I'll see